We are looking for ways to improve our knowledge about financial markets, about trading and psychological approach to it. And what is a better way than to read books? So in today's video, I will talk about the top 5 books that you must read in order to get better at trading and investing in almost all financial assets available. Okay, so the first one is Trading in the Zone. Master the markets with confidence, discipline, and a winning attitude. So Trading in the Zone introduces a whole new mental dimension to getting an edge on the market. Use it to leverage the power of the zone for unprecedented profit. So the book doesn't deal with the usual analytic tools, doesn't offer common trading recommendations. It focuses on the psychological aspects of successful trading. Any trader comes to a point when it is necessary to enrich their trading strategy and experience with the psychological elements. So confidence in what they do and real self-evaluation. So Trading in the Zone deals with the most common psychological problems that set the right decisions back. It offers a methodology of becoming a steadily successful, consistent trader and helps traders to overcome their ingrained mental habits by themselves without attending a specialist. The book proves that point 1, analysis, even a super professional one, can't always remove all market troubles. Second point, a trader's performance is defined by his or her attitude to trading. Point number 3, to shape the probability thinking, which means the winning attitude. A trader needs strong beliefs and personal motivation. Number 4, trader must pay attention to all the conflicts and the paradoxes of thinking that may confuse them. Number 5, traders should integrate their strategies into the functional level of thinking. It is really interesting and unusual how the author defines the fundamental principles of consistency, how he classifies the market dangers and paradoxes, and describes 3 stages of a trader's development in the last chapter, which is called Thinking Like a Trader, the mechanical stage, the subjective stage, and the intuitive stage. It offers really useful techniques of observing yourself, controlling your expectations, developing self-discipline and self-evaluation, shaping the right winning attitude. So Mark Douglas is a really talented person who managed to turn his original way of thinking into a successful business project. Today, Mark Douglas is a teacher and a business coach. He has developed his original unique products for training trading. He is a real expert in the mental aspects of trading psychology. Trading in the Zone is devoted to his colleagues as well as his students, who he has been coaching for many years. So psychological stability gives traders a competitive advantage, a higher chance for success in each transaction. These traders win even if they lack some fundamental or technical information. The more they believe in themselves, the more consistent and disciplined traders are, and the more reasonable and wiser their decisions are. So the suggested approach will help you understand your behavior, get rid of the habits that make you lose your money, become confident, and be comfortable with the probabilities of market movement that governs all market speculations. Also, Trading in the Zone has resulted from many years of theoretical research and practical trading, the guise of the huge lot of useful information packed in the most convenient form. So this excellent book must be read by anyone considering trading to be their job. Although the book is written in an accessible and concise manner, each chapter is a serious psychological research, being a practical manual that can be read separately if you need some certain information. This book will be of immediate interest and enormous help for investors and traders of any levels of skill and capital, for everybody who wants to shape the winning attitude to financial markets and succeed there. Next book is The Quants, How a New Breed of Math Whizzes Conquered Wall Street and Nearly Destroyed It. So it is a masterpiece of financial journalism. This bestseller is one of the most gripping books about stock market. Modern algorithmic trading is a combination of technical techniques and financial thinking without a psychological component. It can hardly be distinguished in the market, understood or predicated. However, its impact on the global financing mustn't be ignored. Trading robots don't have any doubts or emotions. They are indifferent to the industry or a size of a certain company. They are just speculating based on strict technical parameters. But behind the software algorithms, there are real people. The author calls them the quants. And so the quants are common geniuses, not afraid of challenging the financial chaos. The quants are real stories of success and failures of the first algorithmic hedge funds. So the quants are brave speculators whose billion bets are based on complicated mathematical patterns. Of course, there is a certain part of lucky chances in their success, but few understand that the modern quants are not magicians, not even traders. They are physicists, mathematicians, managers, chess players who made their first and the most important investments in their training and personal development. They are those who organized the global crisis in 2007 and almost bailed out the global economy in 2010. And they have enough funds to repeat this round once again. It is not just an analysis of the reasons and the effects of the economic crisis in 2007 to 2008. It is kind of warning to Wall Street and the whole global economic system that is governed by private funds and personal ambitions. The book's author, Scott Patterson, is a staff writer in the Wall Street Journal, a stock market expert, or rather an expert in scandals in the field. He has a master's degree of Madison University, and all his favorite topics are in a way connected with the state regulations of the financial industry. So book The Quants, how a new breed of math whizzes conquered Wall Street and nearly destroyed is presented in the form of an interview with people developing modern financial history. It is a story of those who started their way to millions with a few hundreds of dollars and continue, according to the majority, making money out of nothing. When you read the book, you understand that the entire history of the exchange since the 20th century is created by a few dozen people, which are the quants, who are seeking the truth and making billions. A gripping story about the incredible success of hedge funds which managed to beat giants like Soros, Graham and Buffett by means of their computer models. So the information is presented in the context of the Fed's activities as well as those by the US officials who took the disastrous decisions on substandard derivatives at the critical moment, giving a free hand to the quants. And so this book will be of immediate interest to everybody who is planning to engage with the stock market and investment management. Traders, investors, financiers, and everybody who still believes in the market efficiency must read this book. It will be also of help for those who are just curious about the mechanism of financial exchanges. It is also suggested to those who like a good journalistic style. The book is gripping as a detective novel, but an informative and instructive one. And so now we have the third book from the list, which is Serpent on the Rock, Just Another Day on Wall Street in History's Biggest Corporate Swindle. And so it is a perfect real-life thriller by Kurt Eichenwald about a financial fraudster. Serpent on the Rock is a story about unscrupulous brokers on the example of Prudential Bash Securities. It reveals the secrets of the enormous financial losses caused by the top manager's ego and the greed and illegal actions, of course, in the largest securities fraud of the 1980s. And so the largest financial scandal around Prudential Bash Securities, when 500,000 individual investors lost enormous sums, about $8 billion, and affected all stock markets. And so the book describes in an absorbing and gripping manner how company, despite the good intentions of its founders, was gradually dragged into the scam and everything ended up with a dramatic crash. Seeking the profit, the company management have been turning a blind eye to abuse, fraud, with reporting conflicts of interest and personal engagement of the company's top managers with the deals. Originally loss-making for investors, of course. Unlike most books on similar topics, Serpent on the Rock presents the material in an accessible, gripping manner without numerous special terms. Kurt Eichenwald is a recognized expert in financial investigations, a regular writer in the New York Times paper, the author of the famous Conspiracy of Fools about the crash of Enron and WorldCom. His another bestseller, The Informant, has become a movie. And so, a TJFR Business News reporter calls Eichenwald the best US financial journalist. Although the events described in the book refer to the 1980s and 1990s, the fraud methods have hardly changed and the topic of scams in the field of individual investment still matters. The book professionally deals with the structural errors in the management of large companies as well as with the situations like minor negligence, the achievement of the results by any means, including illegal methods, special loopholes in the reporting and financial control system, and so on. And so the author thoroughly investigates the case by means of documents, publications, and hundreds of detailed interviews of scandals participants and victims. He also describes typical schemes of investor fraud, problems of financial control and corporate culture. Serpent on the Rock, the Just Another Day on Wall Street in history's biggest corporate swindle, is written in a delicate, at the same time informative author's manner, being a real page-turner. So you are really absorbed reading it from the beginning till the end. You can find there vivid characters, a lot of details, real facts, and cautionary stories. And so the author offers a professional assessment of events, financial and political consequences. And also the book will be of immediate interest to both beginners who are studying the ways of financial manipulation and professional businessmen as a manual on professional business honor and conduct. Everybody interested in the stock market investment must read this book. So now we come to the fourth one on the list, which 100% will interest you. It's called The Crisis of Global Capitalism, Open Society Endangered. This is an insider's view on the dramatic events of any crisis, always suggests a unique material for analysis and practical use, especially if this witness is George Soros, a legend of the financial markets. The book Crisis of Global Capitalism, Open Society Endangered is a professional redaction of the author's personal diary dated August 1998. The great investor who was making enormous effort to save global financial system from the harm caused by the Asian crisis informs the world about the results of the theoretical research, an approaching collapse, a global system, and new dangers to the open society. And so the book reveals the author's life philosophy that determined his financial and charity activities, as well as the outcomes of his mental and emotional work. George Soros is a unique financial analyst, an investor, a speculator, a philanthropist, a philosopher, and a politician with unique liberal views. Many-sided personality, having been the avatar of the financial market challenges for half a century now. An active supporter of open society, Soros managed to make an influence almost on all fields, including those that are beyond the world of finance. He, to some extent, continues having a certain impact on the course of history. His philosophic ideas, traits, and analytical suggestions, no matter how surprising they may seem, are still strong fundamental factors today, which are respected by the market, creating the reasons for concern for politicians, analysts, and speculators. The financial world still can't figure out the secret of Soros' success, as well as main reasons for his actions. The book, in an accessible and brief way, explains the theory of reflexivity, the reflexive concept of absolute truth, including the history aspect in economics, politics, and social thinking. The incredibly successful speculator critically analyzes modern society based on trade deals, errors in its value system, fundamental reasoning, and a practical sense of the modern economy. The analysis is based on multi-year observation and factual information, supplemented by personal conclusions, estimates, and practical tips of the author. So critical reassessment of his youthful enthusiasm about the theory of open society, analysis of existing economic models, and the entire range of financial markets assets led the author to work out preventive measures to overcome the global crisis. For different countries, regions, organizations such as EU, NATO, UN, and OPEC, life has proved the relevance of Soros' projections and the efficiency of those emergency measures and long-term reforms suggested by the financial genius, which were nevertheless implemented. And so this book will be of immediate interest to everybody keen on the problems of global economy, trained economists, politicians, financial analysts, especially stock market experts, as well as investors and the traders, irrespective of their experience, skills, and the amount of capital, of course. And finally, the last book is The Money Game by Adam Smith. So many people see trading as a kind of entertainment, a game where you need to find the right combination. However, in fact, it is a complex business when you have to stand with a strong competition. You need to treat a Forex cool-headed without any illusions and to take your decisions fast and productive. So you shouldn't be confused by the title of Adam Smith's book, The Money Game. Although it is written in a unique, funny, a little humorous manner, it deals with fundamental issues essential to succeed in trading. Somebody will criticize the style, others will, on the contrary, like one. In any case, Adam Smith is a recognized classic of economic literature for traders. Here he describes human psychology versus laws of common economics, which is a common complex among beginner traders in their confidence in being incompetent. How can I start trading without a degree in economics and knowing nothing about financial markets? Adam Smith explains in detail why the knowledge of the economics rules is not an essential requirement for a good trader. Moreover, special training doesn't guarantee trading success and can well set it back. Investors' expectations are far more important as they directly affect the asset quotes. Trading participants are influenced by everything going on around. Events in different countries, reports by companies, central banks, data on employment and other statistics, activities of large investing institutions, and the flow of huge capitals. These, as well as other important components of investment sentiment, can be differently interpreted by the market participants. Much depends on a certain situation, but the fear and the greed always rule over the market. Some people fear to lose their capital, others are blind, seeking to multiply their profits. An advanced trader who knows how pick up these emotions, draw the right conclusions, get use of other people's expectations. Adam Smith writes about a whole lot of regularities frequently emerging during the trading battles in the financial markets. After the price reached its bottom, its former level will restore in a period of 6 months to 1 year. It makes no sense to diversify your investment funds into multiple assets. Invest in those that are most likely to yield profits. If an asset is rising in price fast, it can well continue rising further. And the same is true for a falling asset. Its price is likely to be falling deeper. So you obviously shouldn't trade against the market. At present, computer software can perform many tasks for traders, but they can't yet analyze the market as deeply as thoroughly as a human mind can. That is why the programs are being corrected all the time, and you'd better base on your own mind. In the book, he distinguishes 4 steps of an equity price, which is the accumulation when the trader's volume and number of trades are rising in a certain price range. Then the price is accompanied by sellers' mistakes and exiting the trades, followed by a faster growth. Then the allocation when wiser traders having bought the equities before are selling them to the traders who are buying later. Next, we have panic sales result in reduced number of traders in the market. Less people want to buy and so motivate sellers to draw the price down. So, who is this book for? The Money Game will be a great help to those who find it difficult to understand the psychological features of trading. Such people try to explain the market processes by technical analysis alone, without taking into account the importance of human factor. The Adam Smith's book, The Money Game, will be interesting for both beginner traders and the advanced ones. And so, now that's the end of the video. Feel free, of course, to leave your suggestions as for books recommendations. But right now, thank you for watching, and till next time.